Welcome to the 68th episode of Impact Media Presents actor Rhomeyn Johnson. I am Kelly Redmond, your host and Executive Director of Impact Media and Entertainment Coalition, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Today, you will have the pleasure of getting acquainted with one of my favorite actors and acting coaches in LA. He's also, in my opinion, the king of commercials. So I present and introduce to you now, Rhomeyn Johnson. Welcome, Rhomeyn. How are you today?
Fine. How are you, cuz?
I'm doing great, cousin. It's so good to have you on here and to celebrate you to start off. You know, you beat me to the punch. you stole my thunder. I want to let them know not only are you my Kappa brother, but you're my cousin as well. So while we're here, why don't you start off by giving a shout out to our family, our cousins who are tuning in, and then to our D9 family and your frat brothers and noops. They're definitely representing today too.
Oh, that's a lot of folk. Hey, first of all, let me say hi to all the family that's watching and listening in. Hello, everybody in Chicago, Detroit, Atlanta, Pepperdine.
That's right. Jada's already.
Los Angeles.
Woo!
And let me also say hi to my frat brothers. You know, whoever's listening in, and that special frat brother.
Oh, and Lee is tuning in.
Okay. I was dealing with her on something else a little while ago. I told her I had to leave because I had to meet up with you.
Oh, yeah, we're all here representing. So glad to have you here with us today. You know, you have secretly, quietly, we should say, been coaching Jada the 11 years that we've been here. And we're just so grateful for you and all your support that has propelled her to where she is today. And so we want to say thank you. We love you. And while we're here and Jada's with us before she goes to rehearsal, is there anything you want to say to Jada?
Well, I want to just say, Jada, you know, keep up the good work. And, you know, I might have coached you, but, you know, it had to come from you. I mean, you know, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So, I mean, you know, I kind of led you there, but, you know, you had to take the reins and, you know, run the race yourself, and you running it. And, you know, you're doing well, and just stay at it, and, you know, just stay on it, you know, because it's not easy, but, you know, nothing's easy that's worthwhile. So you have to just go ahead on and give it everything you got, and you should be fine.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So you got a shout out from an AKA, one of my little sisters from Drake, Latanya Lumpkin. She says, Ski Wee from Chicago, where you lived at one point. And WB, one of our cousins, said, what's up, cuz? He's a noob too. And Jada says, thank you.
Oh, you know, you're welcome. Anytime, you know, pretty soon, you know, you're going to have to help me out, you know, because you're going to be getting those big parts. You're going to need to get an old uncle in there, you know, playing something, you know.
That's right. That's right. You know, we got you.
Yeah.
So let's dig in. I want people to know more about you, more about your story. So let's just start off. I always start off with why. Why did you pursue acting as a career? Tell us a little bit about what motivated you to do this.
Well, you know, as a real small child, I used to, I was in the school plays and in the glee clubs and all that kind of thing. And then I kind of veered away from it and got into sports. You know, I started playing sports and got away from, you know, the entertainment thing. And I played football and ran track in college. And with the fraternity where I'm from in the Northern Province, you know, I went to Wayne State in Detroit. We don't do a lot of stepping, even though we can step. We didn't do a lot of stepping. We do more doo-wop stuff because, you know, being in Motown in Detroit, everybody was crooning. So I started singing and crooning with the frat when I was pledging.
And by the way, you noticed the crimson I wore for you today.
Oh yeah, you got it. I should have had on something red, a crimson and cream myself, but anyway, here it is for you.
All right. And who to you? And by the way, we got to give a shout out to the AKA in your life, who we love so much.
Oh yeah, my mama. Yeah, definitely
The
mom.
matriarch of our family, Georgia Johnson, who we affectionately call Wee Wee. Love you so much.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, mom. I don't know if she's watching, but definitely shout out to my mama, the AKA.
Yes.
But let me get back because I love to talk about myself. I'm an actor, so I started out singing and performing with the fraternity, and one of the brothers who was singing for Count Basie, the great Count Basie, he said to me after one of the meetings, he said, you might want to think about singing and getting into the entertainment business. So I took his advice and I started studying. I actually studied opera, operatic voice. I studied for like 8 years.
Wow.
So I started out actually in the theater, in musical theater. And then I started branching out from there. I went and started learning Shakespeare and, regular dramatic work. And then Detroit was kind of limiting to me at that point. So instead of going to New York and Broadway, I decided to go to Chicago because I knew I wanted to pursue stage, but I really also wanted to do TV and film work. So by having a large, very supportive family in Chicago,
that's right.
I moved to Chicago and I started pursuing it there. And I started doing commercials and voiceovers. And matter of fact, my first big commercial I shot in Chicago, it was a McDonald's commercial with James Brown, the Godfather of Soul.
Oh, wow.
Ow! God, James Brown. And I started doing that. I did a commercial with him. And we actually, I'm going to give my age away here. We actually introduced in that commercial Chicken McNuggets. Oh, that was one of the first Chicken McNugget commercials. And the Godfather.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was how long ago that was. And James Brown, he was quite the character,
Absolutely. By the way, you got a shout out from Chicago from your cousin Emma, my mama. She says,
"Hey, Jean, how you doing?"
Right, Emma Jean.
She said, yeah, well, I know her as Jean. You know her as Emma, but that's Jean to me. That's one of my favorite cousins there,
That's right. She says, checking in from Chicago, my dear, and so happy to see you.
Oh, yeah, and look forward to seeing her when we go see Jada coming up in the fall, because we will be there.
Oh, we're turning up.
Oh, yeah, we will be there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So tell us more about you were in Chicago, and you were in Chicago for a good amount of time. Chicago was good to you.
Well, I was in Chicago for almost 15 years. I lived there for 15, but I started coming out to LA in the early 90s, and I was going back and forth for a few years. And I didn't move to LA right away because Chicago, I was doing so much commercial and voiceover work, and the money was so good. Having not made a lot of money up until the time I moved to Chicago, it was hard to leave that money.
Right.
But eventually I had kind of did everything I could do in Chicago, and all my agents and people there said, well, there's only so much we could do here for you, but you might want to think about either going to New York or LA. So I said, well, I really like Los Angeles, so I said, I think I'd move to Los Angeles. And I came out to Los Angeles, and I got lucky. I booked the first couple of TV shows that I went on. I booked a show called Life Goes On. And that was a good experience. And then I booked a couple other shows. And then I had already got agents, so I started doing commercials again and things like that and voiceovers out in Los Angeles, and did a couple of animation projects. But I really miss Chicago, to be honest with you. Now, Detroit is my home. I love Detroit because that's home. But I really miss Chicago because I just really like Chicago because, first of all, it was 294 miles exactly away from Detroit.
Yeah.
It was easy to get to, but I really like Chicago because I like the people. And I just love that Midwestern flavor. Now, I still like LA, but if I had my choice, if you could take the weather from Los Angeles and put it in Chicago,
right?
I'd be on a plane right now heading back.
Yes. So we've got a comment from our cousin Benita giving you a shout out. She says, love to my family. We love you too. She said, look forward to seeing you. Look forward to seeing us. And we look forward to seeing you too. It's been too long with this keeping us all apart.
Oh yeah, definitely. I got a couple of things coming up soon. Something coming in here on my phone. I hate these messages coming in. I'm going back to Oklahoma at the end of the month. I worked on a show last year, or actually we shot it in 2020, in August of 2020. And I went to Oklahoma and shot it. It's called Reservation Dogs. And it's about these Native American, these indigenous kids that are, kind of like a little gang. They're kind of like the Indian version of Little Rascals.
Okay.
And they run through the neighborhood causing trouble. So I'm in the pilot episode, and I'm going back at the end of the month to shoot some more work on that. And then I've worked on a couple other things, but it's been kind of up and down lately in the last few months because of the pandemic.
Absolutely.
But I've done a few voiceovers. I've done a couple of commercials, but you kind of up and down.
You stay busy. And we also have our Faithful Central Bible Church family tuning in. So give a shout out to FCBC. And I want the viewers to learn from you how your faith sustained you through this. This is such a challenging career, and you have to have faith in order to stay in it and to keep going. So share a little bit about that.
Well, definitely you have to have faith in, and I believe, that, God is always at the center of everything. I mean, God comes first, no matter what it is. God comes before family, everything, because without God, you can't do anything else, because you'll lose it out there, because this is a business that could take you and sweep you right up in all kind of crazy stuff.
Right.
And Faithful Central, I love Faithful Central, Bishop Ulmer, and love everybody over there. I got a lot of friends over there. And I grew up in the church in Detroit. My mother and father were very prominent, or should I, I say prominent. Yeah, they were prominent in the church.
Yeah.
And, so I grew up in the church in Detroit, and church is always number one. God is always number one. So, I mean, you have to always put God first. And I mean, that's just the way it is, because like I say, this business can take you in all kind of directions if you don't watch out.
That's right.
And you have to be centered. And I think, I think I was just meant to be in this business, because I couldn't keep a regular job to save my life. I couldn't. I got fired from every regular job I had. I got fired as a 12-year-old for my paper route. So when you get fired at 12 years old, then you know something's up.
I forgot that was also part of the impetus to your whole move, was the firing of the jobs. Oh yeah.
Oh well, yeah. I worked in Detroit for a number of years while I was like a social worker, kind of like, child care social worker. And so I worked at that job. I had like a couple of jobs, and I substitute taught. And I did that basically to pay for my my voice lessons and my acting lessons, because I studied with some of the foremost people in Detroit. And I was able to, really learn a lot. And then, like I said, I was able to, once I moved to Chicago, I was able to apply what I learned in Detroit. And Chicago is such a great theater town, and just a great city. So I learned a lot. I made a lot of good friends in the business. I made a lot of friends, that aren't even in the business, that I just knew and got to be close with. And so it prepared me for when I made the move to California here, because out here, I mean, this is a tough nut to crack here.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this is not an easy place. But see, I don't have a problem as far as, this business, because there's nothing else I can do. I can't do anything else. And, so I'm a lifer, and I tell people, I say, well, they say, well, do you plan to retire and everything? I say, well, we don't really retire in this business. They just kind of carry us out on the stretcher and bring the next one in. They bring the understudy in, or bring in the other person that was second choice on the job. And then when they come in, they look at you and roll their eyes like, I should have had the job anyway. So that's basically what happens, So like, I got a lot of friends that are up in age or whatever that have retired. They say, oh, I retired now. I say, well, we don't work enough in this business I'm in to retire, because it's like I'm retired 3-4 days out the week. So, so I don't have to worry about retiring at all, So I plan to stay in it, to the end.
All right. All right. I would love to hear and love for our viewers to hear what some of your favorite projects have been, some of your favorite films, TV shows, and then commercials.
Well, let me start off with the commercials. I've done a couple of real big campaigns. I used to be the one of the main people for IBM for a number of years. And then actually while I was in Chicago, before I got here to do IBM, I did IBM here in LA. But in Chicago, I worked on quite a few of the McDonald's commercials, some of the big ones. And then I also had the opportunity, I guess it is, to work with Michael Jordan. I did like 5 Nike spots with him. And then I did like 4 McDonald's commercials with him in Chicago. And also I was his demo voice when they would do like a demo commercial, because Michael, was always, playing and everything. They would do a demo commercial with a storyboard kind of thing, and they would bring in a person to do the actual voice of Michael Jordan. So I actually won that job over a bunch of other actors who probably might be listening in here, and they might be still mad at me. But I won that job and did that job for like about 6-7 years before I moved out to LA. And then when I got out here, I did IBM, which was a real huge campaign. And then I worked on, I did a couple of big Chevy commercials. And then I just had a spot that ran for a couple of years here and stopped about a year ago, right before the pandemic. I did a spot for Liberty Mutual.
I love that one.
Yeah, and that was one where they played that so much that no matter where I would go, I would have people come up to me and talk about, Karen, who was my wife in the commercial. And I even went to the airport to make a trip home for Christmas of one year. And I had the people at the airport saying, we're not going to let you on the plane because you didn't bring your wife. I said, my wife? I said, I'm not married. They say, you didn't bring Karen. I said, oh, Lord. They said, you the Liberty Mutual guy. I said, oh, my goodness. So that played quite a bit. And then
say that last line again.
What's that?
The last line.
See, Karen, Liberty Mutual doesn't, what is that? I can't remember the line now. Can't remember.
They don't discriminate or something. Isn't that?
See, Karen, Liberty Mutual doesn't hold grudges. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
See, Karen, Liberty Mutual doesn't hold grudges either.
Right.
Okay, yeah, I'm glad you reminded me.
Yeah, I love that one. And then the AT&T commercial during Super Bowl.
I've done a couple of those during the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But then I did a real big one where they actually, the line I said in the commercial became a Facebook meme all on its own.
Yes.
You guys know how to download videos of Facebook. That became a thing on ESPN when the announcers, when somebody would get dunked on in basketball, they would say, you know how to download videos of Facebook? So that would be the line, so that line became more famous than I did. And I eventually did a commercial with a couple of those guys on ESPN, a couple of the announcers. I did a commercial with them. And it's funny, when I came on the set, they treated me like I was the star. I said, I'm not the star, you're the star. So that was a fun experience.
That's cool. The Chick-fil-A commercial is really cool too.
Well, Chick-fil-A didn't run a lot, but we won all types of awards for it.
Wow.
Because it was so unusual, because having a cow there, and they had real cows there. They had 2 cows. They had a female cow that was in the actual spot, and then they had her backup cow that was a male. Well, it was another female. I'm sorry, because that's a bull. That would be a bull. They wouldn't have no bull. But they had another female that was a little more, a little feistier. So they said, we'll go with this one. So we shot the we shot the Chick-fil-A, and it was a fun shoot. But I would have to say one of my favorite spots recently has been, I did a Domino's pizza commercial where I had a dog in the commercial. He was like a little bulldog. And the trainer told me, said, well, she gave me some treats. She said, well, if he starts acting up, give him a treat. So the dog actually looked up and said, oh, I see what's up. So every time the dog would act up, I'd give him a treat. So finally got to a point where he would just be acting up. Right. And I finally told him, I said, now you're going to have to stop acting up now. We see what you're doing. And the dog knew what was up, and he said, he did like this. Okay. So even dog actors are, hams,
Right, exactly. And all about the refreshments on the side. What the craft services.
Oh yeah, yeah. But I also worked on some of the newer Rocky and Bullwinkle commercials. I mean, not commercials, animated TV.
Mm-hmm.
They hadn't made any of those since like the 50s or something, like the 1950s. So I was fortunate to, get a job, and I was the first African American character that they used in those commercials.
Oh
I
wow.
mean, in that commercial, excuse me, in those cartoons. I was like the first African American they used in that.
Oh wow.
So I was really happy about that.
Yeah. What about some of your favorite film and television projects?
Well, film wise, I haven't done a whole lot of films. Uh, I've done a few, but more TV. I've done lots of TV. I've done Grey's Anatomy.
I know the
I was
neighborhood.
in.
That was fun.
Oh well, yeah, I was in there with Katherine Heigl, who
Mm-hmm.
at the time I guess was really giving him a hard time because she was, becoming a big star in films, and so she was like trying to get out of the show. So they warned me. They said, okay, she's gonna be difficult,
Mm.
but she took to me. She took to me right off, and we got along and had a good time. And I was in I was in the pivotal scene of that year, and I hadn't really watched the show much. And when it came on, all my friends said, "You were in the pivotal scene. You
Oh,
brought." She brought the check from the guy died and left her a check, and she brought the check to you at the bank. I was the bank manager. I said, "Oh, was I?" And so that was a fun experience. And then I did Boston Legal. I did a couple of did a recurring character on Boston Legal. I played a detective. And James Spader, I worked with James Spader and Candice Bergen. And that was a fun experience. And then I did Malcolm in the Middle. I played
mm-hmm.
a couple episodes. I played Eddie, the school janitor, with the little boy, Dewey, the little small boy. I was in his scenes. And then I've done a
Parks
couple
and
other projects. What's that?
Parks and Recreation.
Oh, yeah. Parks and Recreations. I did a couple of those. I was the police chief in Parks and Recreation. I worked with, what's his name? Rob Lowe. I'm sorry. He's a real nice guy, too.
I like Rob Lowe.
Rob Lowe's a really nice guy. I work with Rob Lowe, and I work with Amy Poehler, and I work with Chris Pratt. And funny, I worked with Chris Pratt right before he blew up and became a superstar,
Mm.
And he was really nice. They were really nice people, to work with. So
Your
that was a
cousin
fun
Jean said
experience.
so much good work. She's so proud of you.
What's that?
Your cousin Jean said so much good work. She's so proud of you.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I appreciate it because, like I say, this is not easy.
No, it is not. So, in that vein, let's move to the next segment. Tell aspiring actors, give them a few tips. What advice do you have for those who are interested in pursuing acting?
I would say to any aspiring actor, read as much as you can about everything because you're going to have to be able to play everything. Hopefully, you're going to have to be able to play everything. You're going to have to be really good as far as your reading comprehension. So if you're in school or if you're in high school or whatever, or junior high, you have to really be good at your English and your literature and also something that's surprising, you have to be really good or really study history
Mm-hmm.
because you a lot of times you're going to probably have to play historical characters, so you have to be able to understand what they are, be able to research those characters, and also take your speech classes.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have a very solid foundation. I mean, I studied for a number of years before I even left Detroit. I studied for a long time, so you really have to be up on all of that because the competition. We don't ever like to say there's competition, but there is competition.
Yeah.
You have to really be on top of it because everybody's good in this business. Once you get out here to either New York or Chicago or LA, everybody you go against is really good. I mean, so you're going to have to be able to compete, and you have to have all those kind of things going for you as far as your skills in order to win these jobs. And also, let me say this. You're going to have to be able to handle rejection.
Oh, yeah. That's the big.
Because rejection is, you get 99% rejection in this business. And most people don't understand that. And I've had friends that, started out in the business with me many years ago who left the business because they couldn't handle the rejection. And I was told early on, I was crying and all upset because I wouldn't get, oh, you can't get it. And I had my teachers and all my mentors, people that were more experienced at that point. I had them tell me, they say, look, if you can't handle rejection, you might as well leave this now. Yes. Because you're going to get rejected more than you're going to win jobs. I mean, like, I can be honest and say my allergies acting up. This last 2 weeks, I think I've lost about 6-7 jobs.
Oh, wow.
And what's so funny about it is the people say, oh, wonderful. Oh, yes. Oh, we love you. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, okay, fine. But I mean, you end up not getting the job. And you have to just, just let it roll off and keep moving. I mean, I'm not going to lie and say that, it doesn't affect me. Right. But as I've gotten older and got more experience, it doesn't affect me as long. But it does affect you because you're human. And right. you don't want to be rejected by anybody, no matter what it is. You don't want to be rejected in your personal life. You don't want to be rejected on jobs or anything. But you have to just go ahead on and accept it and just wait for the next one and try to do better.
No, thank you for that. We have another comment from a cousin, Lisa, who says, hey, family. Hey, cousin Lisa. She says,
there.
What about How to Get Away with Murder? One of her favorites.
Oh, you know what? I worked on the 5th episode of the first season, and Viola Davis was not only is she just a tremendous, brilliant actor, but she is a really, really nice person. And let me tell you what happened. When I was in the makeup room, because they make you up, because I look much better than this when they make me up. I mean, I'm pretty now, but I'm even more pretty and more beautiful when they make me up. Right. But what I'm saying is, I was in the makeup trailer where they were making me up, and there was a guy sitting to the right of me, and then a person sitting to the left of me, and Viola Davis came into the trailer from the other side, and the guy to the side of me, she came up and hugged him and said, "Hey, thank you so much. I'm glad you're working with me on the show today." And so I thought to myself while she was talking to him, I said, "Oh, it must be nice to know somebody. She knows him, and it's good to have that kind of connect like that." Right. Then she came right to me and did me the same way. Oh, wow. And I said, "Oh, wow." And then she did the other person next to me. And then she went and sat down and started being made up. And before I left the trailer, I was walking out and I looked at her through the mirror. Because you could see, her looking through the mirror, as they're making her up. And I told her, I said, "You know what?" I said, "I love all your work. But I say, I saw you in the movie Get On Up, or whatever, the James Brown movie." I told her, I said, that scene where you came into his dressing room when he was an older man begging for that money, I said, that was fantastic. And she just started just gushing like a little schoolgirl. "Oh, thank you so much." Then when we got on set, she came on set and sat almost, we were like in the same area, which is unusual. Well, because we were at a courtroom place, a location. We weren't in a regular studio. We were on location. And she came and sat, not far from me. And then when she got up to do her scene, she said, "Hey, I know you're going to do it." I said, yeah. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, oh boy, the pressure's on now. So when we got in the scene, the director redirected all the other actors. Redirecting means they tell you to do it another way, which means you're not doing it right. So he redirected all the other actors except for me. Oh, wow. And when I finished, I kind of glanced over at her, and she was smiling and winked at me. And I said, uh-oh, there we go. I got validation from the star. That's right. That's right.
Oh, I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And Lisa, Thank you for prompting that. As we're winding down here, I would love to know, like, what's next for you? If there's anything you can share, or any goals or dreams that you want to put out there that we can get behind and support.
Well, what I want to really do, and if I can stop being lazy about it, I want to start writing, some screenplays. See, I took classes. I took screenwriting in Chicago. I took some night classes at Northwestern University in Chicago. So I took a couple of years of screenwriting. But the problem for me is I don't have the discipline for that. So what I did was I paid a guy a few years ago. It's almost 10 years now. I paid a guy to write a script for me, and we've been shopping it for a number of years. But what I want to do is I want to sit down and just finally write myself, because I've taken workshops and classes out here in LA over the last couple of years, but it's just hard for me to get myself to sit down and do it. And I don't want to use the excuse that, you can't do everything. You have to just focus on what you do best, because I think you need to be able to branch out, because, you should be able to do more than just one thing. So I really want to take the time and sit down, maybe have somebody, tie me up or something and put me at a keyboard and have me
somebody tie you up,
make me sit down and just start typing and doing that,
Well, I tell you what, how about we can go in that together. We can have somebody tie us both up, because I've got a bunch of writing projects myself. I've started.
Oh yeah.
And then the ideas just keep coming, and it's like, okay, I need to help.
Oh yeah, the ideas keep coming.
Exactly.
But see, the funny thing about it is that, and I have writer friends who say, they shake their head. They say, "You come tell you about me." They say, "I come up with some of the greatest concepts and ideas," and they say, "Why is it that the people that come up with the greatest ideas don't have the discipline to sit down and write, and the people that write can't come up with nothing? They sit there, I can't figure nothing out, and they can write and do all that kind of stuff. But the people like us come up with these ideas, don't have it. I don't know what it is. It's just like, we don't have the discipline to sit there. But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
When you have so many gifts, it's hard to find the time to manage it all.
Oh no, that's no excuse. I got plenty of time to do some stuff.
And you're right. You're right. It's like, okay, but it's about quality of life. But we're gonna hold each other accountable for that. We're gonna be accountability coaches on this writing thing.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have to write some stuff for Jada. We're gonna have to write something for Jada, because she's gonna
absolutely,
because she's gonna carry the torch beyond me and some of our other young cousins and people that I'm sure are want to get in this business or actually in the business, because I know we got a cousin out here. I haven't seen her in many years, cousin Grace, my Uncle Freddie's daughter. She's been out here a number of years, and she's an actor out here. I haven't seen her in a while, but and then we got a couple other cousins that are musicians, and we got all kind of people in our family, that are gifted in the arts, like yourself. We all
family talent and get some things done. And Jada has been deemed a great writer since she was in kindergarten. The kindergarten teacher was like, she has a gift as a writer, and she doesn't believe she does, but she really does. So,
well, see, you can't go by what Jada says about that, because Jada didn't think she was going to be an actor. And I had to sit there, and she crying and talking about, I don't know. I said, Jada, look, you wasted everybody's time. You going to do this. Now, if you want to do it, do it. And look where she is. She's at Pepperdine. Right. She's at one of the top schools in the country. Yeah. In the performing arts curriculum.
Right.
So don't listen to her when it comes to this about she can't write or nothing. I don't want to hear that.
Exactly. So do you have any closing thoughts or comments you'd like to share, in addition to how people can follow you on social media?
Well, as far as closing, I would just say, be true to yourself. Just have faith, put God first, and everything will fall in place, because it's already written about what you're gonna do and what you're gonna be. It's already written, as they say in that old movie, Moses, let it be written, let it be done. It's already written. So just have faith and just don't give up. Don't give up on your dreams. You just have to just have to fight through whatever adversity you have, because that's true of any profession, not just in the acting profession.
Absolutely.
That's true in no matter what you do. You're going to have ups and downs no matter what it is, but you have to be strong enough to have faith in yourself and belief that you're going to be able to persevere and be able to strive and do what you want to do, and you'll be all right. Now, as far as finding me, I'm kind of on Instagram, but I'm not on there really, So I guess you can find me, but I'm on Facebook, and I'm on there all the time. I'm on there talking about Trump almost every day. I think that's
Well, you know what? Let's not do that anymore, because what we promote, that just gives it more PR. We don't need any more.
okay. Well, I won't say nothing else.
Exactly. We're gonna promote the positive.
Okay, we will.
Things that are going on. What I'm going to do, because I'm going to be your assistant on the technology side, so I'll put some things in the comments so people know how to find you.
Okay, great, do that. And you know what? My website is RhomeynJohnson.com.
So spell it.
RHOMEYNJOHNSON.com.
Yes.
And you can get my website, and it links to my commercial site as well as my theatrical site. And you can find me there, and send me messages, and we can take it from there.
All right, that sounds good, and we'll make sure they know how to follow you on social media. So you do Facebook? Do you do any of the others? Instagram, Twitter, any of that?
Well, I'm on there, but I'm really not on there.
Facebook is your primary.
Yeah, Facebook is it, and then sometimes Twitter, but I'm really not on there. I should be on Instagram, but I'm really not on there either. Like I say, I'm on the other one just venting about that knucklehead Trump all the time. Yeah, I think it's therapeutic for me. But so funny is when I go to auditions, all the actors I know say, "What do you think about this?" I say, "Oh no, I only talk about that stuff on Facebook."
Right.
And people look at me like, "What?" I said, "No, I don't talk about any of that except on Facebook." And then I had a guy tell me, a friend of mine, he says, "Why not?" I said, "Look, I'm here to get this job."
Right. Nothing's gonna get in the way of that.
Right. No. So I don't talk about none of that.
Well, cousin, thank you so much. This was so fun. We'll have to have you back.
Oh yeah. Well, I appreciate you having me, and I want to say, hey, hello, family, and I'll see you. I'm trying to get to Chicago whenever we can. Whenever the pandemic is over, because I'm scared. I'm scared to go there. Go anywhere right now.
Yeah. We Chicago, we're gonna have to like do a serious family reunion when it's safe, because it's been way too long.
Well, we had one a few years ago, but we need to have another one, and definitely I want to get out back home to Detroit, get to Atlanta and Houston. I got people everywhere
there too.
Yep,
absolutely. But so good to see you.
Same here. It's good to see you, cuz. And thank you so much for having me, and much success to you in what you do.
Thank you.
Because you're doing quite well. And I appreciate you having me. And like I said, I look forward to, seeing family and friends, and anything I can do to help people, to want to get where I am, or even, of course, beyond where I am. We always want to go beyond, we want that next generation, we want them to outdo what we do and keep going. That's how life is. We got to keep it moving.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. See you soon.
All right. Thank you.
All righty.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Hope you had some fun, shared some laughs. So much more to come in the weeks ahead. Looking forward to seeing you next time. Take care and God bless. Bye-bye.